Jazzcast Pros.
Get the Ford Ranger you really want with great offers on select models from Ford Finance, but only at participating dealers until September 30. Ford Finance issued by Angle Auto Finance, Australian Credit Licence 530731.
Hi.
Hi.
Today we're talking to Becc.
Yes, we are.
And Becc is actually a friend of mine that I've known for 3 or so years. I'm not sure exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And we originally were going to have Becc on for one of our big healings. She was one of the first cohort that volunteered for it. And then we thought, no, we want to do these speedy healings, don't we?
Yeah, half an hour.
Yeah.
Cards. It's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have a listen and we'll have a chat afterwards.
Yeah.
Welcome to The Spiritual Shortcut, the podcast to help you realize that you are in fact your own healer and that you can learn to release the invisible anchors that might have been holding you back. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Kristy.
And we'll be your guides on this journey. Tonight we have Becc as our guest. We're doing a healing today. Do you want to go straight into the intention, Kristy?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sure. So my intention for today's healing is to clear any and all blockages that are holding me back from experiencing financial abundance to help create safety and security in my life.
Awesome. Yeah, such a good one for the collective at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah, most definitely. And the first thing I want to say that came up for me when we were discussing this before is the blocks are your blocks. You are your block. And the fact that you think you have a block means you have a block.
Yes.
And it's this freaking oxymoron of if you wake up in the morning and you go, I feel good today, you have a good day. So when you feel really, really good about things, about yourself, about your life, about everybody in it, good things happen and your life unfolds in a magical way. So if you can learn to harness that, that's ultimately what we want to do.
Yeah.
And every time you think to yourself, oh my God, I have a block, I can't do this thing that I want to do, you're absolutely right. Because whenever you think I can do this thing that I really want to do, you're also absolutely right.
It's really interesting to hear you say that, Amanda, because obviously I've pulled cards before we hit the record button, and the first thing that dropped in for me was being squished into this little box. And we have experienced this before with one of our previous healings, Becc, so I'm no stranger to being in a box, but it's it's that grief that just feels so smothering at the moment. So you guys ready to get stuck in?
Absolutely.
Cool. All right, so I might just start by explaining. Already this is very different. I've been led to pull 5 cards out. Normally we work with a 3-card spread. Everything is inverted. We have an inverted star, so servitude, inverted heart, anger, inverted sacral card, so grief and fear, inverted third eye, which is false courage and bravado, and inverted higher heart, which is that old chestnut of resentment. He comes up a bit, doesn't he, Amanda?
Yeah, resentment is prolific.
It really is. I was thinking about this the other day, like if there's one emotion that I have seen at the root of all woundings, it is resentment. It feels like a really damaging frequency when we hold on to it. I really want to talk about this grief and fear and this contraction where it's like a little girl trapped in a box and we can't do this and we can't do that. And it's like already it's this self-sabotage plan of cutting yourself off at the knees without even having a go. Oh, we can't do that. And the words coming through is, I can't afford it. I can't afford it. Does that resonate with you, Becc?
Yeah, definitely. And that term is something that I've had to learn to not say as much as possible, but it does still pop its head up every now and again. But that is something that, has been huge in my life. I've said it way too many times. Yeah. And even the cards, like the meanings of the cards, like when you read them out initially, I was like, yep. Each one ticked a box for sure.
Yeah. It just feels like literally like a block. And I'm trying to figure out, because it feels on both sides, giving and receiving. It just feels like a whole mishmash of things in inverted places, opposites. It just feels like actually, and what I'm feeling into is that messy heart energy. So if I just get a little bit closer with that, messy heart energy, messy high heart energy, and that's that anger and that resentment kind of woven in together. Amanda, you're nodding your head. You're feeling into this too?
Yeah. And it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, that kind of, I couldn't before, I can't now, I resent the world because of it, or I resent the things I've done, or the relationships I've had, or, the fact that we've got children. Sometimes you just go, if only I didn't have this in my life, these people, these things, this history, whatever it is, and it doesn't really matter what it is. It's how you feel about it. And you start to get into that spiral, and you can spiral up. But anger and resentment is so strong, and grief and all those things, you can really, really end up spiraling down, and it becomes worse, and it makes itself worse. And when you start off like that, in the morning, you wake up in the morning and it's like, oh God, I feel stressed, I feel worried, I feel sick about whatever.
Why bother is the phrase that's dropping in. Why bother trying anymore? It's also got lots and lots of hooks of past life attachments in there too. And the past life seems to be hooked into the back of the heart. So, big receiving blocks, which I want to say is synonymous with the feminine. I think so many of us women as mums have a really challenging time receiving. We want, we desire, and then when we do reach out and take, guilt, shame, like anything. And that could be, not even necessarily money, but like time. And the word frequency is dropping in too.
So a resonance, or?
No, it almost feels like guilt and shame about borrowing light when you really needed it too, which is a really interesting concept and a new one for me through my own kind of personal, journey. Like I've learned that I've doled my light out. So interesting to see that in a client as well. What else are you picking up on, Amanda?
Just a reminder that the way that we're taught that to be good women and good mothers, we're taught that we have to put everyone else first. So when we finally learn that it doesn't have to be that way, we have to go through a process where it feels like a stiffness, and that's potentially the box that you need to break out of, because that's how it feels. Like there's this stiffness that you need to go through, like you're retraining energetic muscles in your body to go, hey, you know what? It's actually okay for me to say no to this, or later on, or we'll come back to that because I need to finish this, or I need to go and do that. And it's okay to do that, because it's that concept we've spoken about before of, the champagne glasses. None of the glasses underneath that top one are going to get any of the champagne in them until the cup at the top is full and overflowing. You can only pour from a full cup.
Yeah, like a lot of that rings true. It's funny, the past life thing that came up when I had an astrology reading. My astrologer is also a past life regressionist, and he didn't regress me, but he did say, just from looking at my astrological chart, he told me that one of my past lives I was with someone who gave me that security and everything that went along with that, but only if I was with them. And, you know, the relationship wasn't a great one, and I stayed so that I had that safety and security.
So that's interesting, because on this high heart card, it's actually past decisions that are kind of coming to the surface. And then one major decision that was made, I'm guessing that there might be this correlation with what you're talking about now, that has kind of haunted you. And that word haunted too is like, it feels like you're going in a loop that needs to be broken. And it does feel like behavioral kind of stuff. And again, you know, like we've just spoken about, be a good girl, you'll get rewarded. Like it's the culture that we have been raised in, you know, as women and mothers and girlfriends and partners. But, you know, starts with when you're a little one, you know, be a good girl, you'll get a treat. Oh, okay. You know, and so you then act in a certain way to be rewarded, but nobody can do that all the time. And then what comes up is, this is not fair. When is it my turn? I'm sick to death of missing out.
Yeah, that definitely resonates a lot, actually.
Yeah. So let's follow that. And it's like, I've never seen this before, but it feels like a false heart energy, like a breakup or like a divorce or something that, you know, I can just see you standing there throwing your hands up going, I gave it all and it still wasn't enough.
Yeah, that is definitely. Yeah.
Right.
Couldn't have said yes loud enough then. Yes, in my marriage, that's what it was like. You know, I did what I thought I was supposed to do. I met someone, married them, had children, did all of that. And it was like that. You know, I had my life planned out to a T pretty much the whole way through. And when my ex-husband left, it was like, yeah, the rug was just pulled out from underneath me. And I was like, but I've done everything right. Like, you know, obviously not everything. There was a few things here and there, but I did what I thought I was supposed to do for society's standards. And there has been a lot of resentment with the ending of that relationship, which is almost 10 years ago now. So
I want to play devil's advocate here, though, too, Becc,
yep.
and say that has a little bit repeated itself in your subsequent relationship where you've found yourself going back in.
Yes.
Because, oh, he's cleaned up his act. Oh, he says he won't do it again. Oh, he's turned it around. He's so different. I will give him the benefit of the doubt and come back and go back in and let him come back or whatever it is and give him, you know, my heart again because I owe him that.
Yeah, definitely. And that's something that I've only recently realized for sure, that I need to step out of that we can't just keep repeating the same cycles there. Yeah. Let that person go so they can do their own journey, and so that I am not caught in that trap that's holding me back as well.
And there's nothing easy about that.
No, never.
And I feel a little bit of a hypocrite at this point saying this kind of thing because I'm a little bit caught in a similar cycle. And every time I get a little bit further out.
Yeah.
And I can see that you're doing a similar thing. It's like, I learned a bit more. I learned a bit more about myself and how I respond to these circumstances that are put in front of me.
Yeah, definitely. And Definitely with that subsequent relationship, like the more recent one, because he put in a lot of work, I guess, as you said earlier, I felt like I owed it to him and the relationship to keep going, to give it another go. But each time I would step back into it, and eventually it would get back to that place again. So, yeah.
Interesting choice of words to owe, as
Very much that really had a lot of charge to it.
yeah, screaming karmic debt, isn't it, really?
Mm.
Because at the end of the day, that mastery level of knowing, we are well aware that we don't owe anybody anything. But the flip side of that is nobody owes us anything either. It just is, And what's dropping in as you're talking is a lot of false light. And then as I'm getting deeper in there, almost like this false god of, I want to say false god of money. It's like profit energy almost. And it's like,
Profit or profit?
hey.
Ooh.
Woo.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
This is where the inverted star card comes in. This is servitude. It's servitude to I owe. I've got to pay back. I've got this karmic debt. I've got this feeling of servitude. Like how many relationships I've been married twice. How much I put into the second marriage was so much more at some point, because part of it, I can't fail again. So I was in servitude to this. It's more important to hold this thing together. No, like it's covered in duct tape. It's working.
Yep. Another wrapping of gaffer around the top of it.
It's good. It's still good. It's just a little wet. It's just a little ripped apart and shredded to pieces, and as is my heart.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go back in for another go.
When does it stop?
When we choose to.
When does it stop? Yeah, until it will continue. We will continue to beat ourselves up and, sit in that anger for ourselves, because it's all just us, know. And I know I totally resonate with how tricky that is, especially when there's kids involved, because then it becomes, I owe the children, I owe the children, and then I can tell them when they're older I did everything I possibly could.
Mm-hmm.
We've all said that. It's trickier to, that idea that nothing is personal, but it becomes very blurred when you're with a romantic partner or it's about your children, because even with them, it's not personal.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do have children with both of my ex-partners. So, yeah, that really does resonate.
Yeah. Amazing. And it's another one of these choice points. That's all the guides are just leading me in, just like you feel like you don't have a choice. You feel like you've been stripped of it, but you do. So they're leading me back down into that resentment and that high heart energy, and big lessons they're wanting to break through for compassion for the self. Like the guides are saying, you can't do any more. You're maxed out.
Like a credit card.
Hell yeah.
And thus comes in the block.
Mm.
Australian Retirement Trust, the raw retirement experts.
Did you just roar? Are you a monster?
No, but my super is.
How long have they been here?
Oh, a few years. They're committed to me and serious about returning profits where it matters. A better service and lower fees.
11 feet tall and ultra committed. I wish my ex had that kind of aura.
Awaken your super with Australian Retirement Trust. Consider the PDS and TMD before deciding at art.com.au.
If you're maxed out, if money is energy, and we also, Kristy and I talk about money being light. We are light. We are energy. We are light. So, money is a representation of how we survive in this 3D world. So if that's the case, then if you're maxed out, money is going to reflect you in that way. So if you can, have an open heart and be, soften into yourself and into your life, money will reflect that. It will follow that within you. Have you ever done an exercise where you journal, like pen a letter to money, like you're in relationship with it?
No, not in that way. I have attempted to do a lot of work over the last 5 or so years around it, but never that specifically.
Your choice of words is you haven't attempted to do anything. You have done something. Just because you're not at a stage or in a place that you believe that you want to have doesn't mean that you have failed or fucked up anything.
Yeah.
It just means that there are other things you can do. Like if you're learning to do something, and there might be various stages or grades or levels that you go through, just because you're at level 3 out of 10, you don't go, oh, I'm not 10 within 5 minutes. I fucked up. I haven't done enough. No, okay, maybe you haven't done enough to get to 10, but you've done where you're at. And that's the thing, because if money is energy, money will meet you where you're at.
Yeah.
So again, you have that choice. And it's a cool thing to do, actually speak to money like you're in relationship and start to journal and flow into, this is how I have treated you. This is how I think of you. And what I've done is I've realized that if someone treated like me, like the way I used to treat money when I was in if I was in a relationship, yeah, and it'd be,
Yeah.
welcome to Dumpsville, population you. I'm like, yeah, money's dumping me, and fair enough. So it's a really, really interesting exercise. But don't just stop there. Then go into, all right, now what are we going to do moving forward? Because at the end of the day, you get to choose to stay in relationship with money.
Yeah.
You're always going to be in relationship with it because it is a representation of the world that we live in and how we sustain ourselves within it.
Yeah.
So that is absolutely what I want you to do after this session.
I will.
Cool. I do have something really big coming up, but I do just want to check in with you, Becc, and see how you're feeling.
Yeah, good. Definitely everything that has come up so far feels like couldn't be more true. I'm excited to try this journaling for sure, because that's not something that I've done before. I think the only other thing that came up for me is about the feeling, feeling abundant and all of that, because I've always felt in lack financially. I guess I've never been able to step into that feeling of what it feels like to be abundant. Although we did discuss it previously, Amanda, you said that feast or famine term, and I loved that because, yes, I have experienced little pockets of abundance, and then it's like it's there and then it's gone, and then it's there and then it's gone. So there's definitely that cycle there for sure, but it's never been lasting. Yeah, it's been hard for me to step into that feeling when it's like, well, every time I've felt it, it's then just trickled away.
Yeah. So I just want to ask you, with that feast or famine, do you feel like you have a similar relationship with self-forgiveness? Like, is it something that you ebb and flow with as well? Because the guides are bringing that through very clearly.
In the past, yes. In recent years, I've been learning to forgive myself for things in my past. It's not something I've actually thought of, to be honest.
It just feels like there's all this congestion in the belly space there. And every time I kind of go in there, it's like it's time to face yourself. It was like if I feel into at the moment that feeling of self-forgiveness, it feels warm and squashy. Like if I was to ask how abundance felt, do you know what I mean? That's what would come up for me. It'd be like a held feeling. And actually now that I'm in there, this is lineage stuff. So is it paternal lineage stuff? And it crossed over to you when you were in the womb. So I'm just in there now. Amanda, remember the dark attachment in the womb space? That's what this is.
Okay.
Oh, this is exciting. Yeah, it's just like this dark. And where is that? Umbilical cord stuff. So that connection. And so this is the grief wound. And this is really heavily tied in with that moment of being cut off from source to come in and be birthed. Do you want to speak to that, Amanda?
Yeah, so a lot of what we experience when we, I want to say realize, but it's not an expression of understanding. It's an expression of making real when you realize something. So there's this feeling of I've been cut off, therefore I am cut off. And the grief that we experience by being so-called cut off from source, you know, it's like death. It's like, you know, and the understanding that we have as human beings is that we're individuals. We're here on our own. It's really frightening and scary, and that when we die, we just die. But you know, that's not actually the truth of it. This is just how we need to experience this life in the 3D. So it's a huge individual that can manage to understand how we're in this experience and at the same time remember that we're still connected to source and that we always will be, and then we will go back there and have that trust in what's happening, and that, you know, like it's okay to be feeling separated because you can't have an individual process or experience if you're actually still connected to source.
Becc, how would you feel about doing some statements to start shifting through this stuff?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, cool. I give myself full permission.
I give myself full permission
to know
that
I am a being of light.
That I am a being of light.
I am essentially made of.
I am essentially made of
what created me.
What created me.
I am an extension of the Creator.
I am an extension of the Creator.
Yeah, awesome. So that's just taken the top off. So big reshuffling, almost like a cleaning kind of energy coming in. I give myself full permission.
I give myself full permission
to know I am always supported.
To know I am always supported.
Whether I'm aware of it or not.
Whether I'm aware of it or not.
And I don't beat myself up any longer.
And I don't beat myself up any longer.
For those moments in my life where I am unaware.
For those moments in my life where I am unaware.
I give myself full permission to have this human experience.
I give myself full permission to have this human experience.
And call to me.
And call to me.
A balancing of my heart.
a balancing of my heart,
knowing I don't owe anybody anything,
knowing I don't owe anybody anything,
and understanding that nobody owes me anything.
and understanding that nobody owes me anything.
Any remaining karmic debt that I am holding
Any remaining karmic debt that I am holding
is not mine,
is not mine,
and I surrender it into the light.
and I surrender it into the light.
Okay, a big shift there. And just breathing into that, Becc. So really filling up that chest space and blowing out that grief energy. Just blow it into the light. Big clearing. And this beautiful white misty light coming in. I am no longer in servitude. Can you say that for me?
I am no longer in servitude. It's funny that you say that, because before this, and I don't know why, but I was finding it really hard to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
And I was finding it hard to like settle into my body. And after saying those statements, like even before you told me to do the breath, Kristy, I could feel in my body, I was like, oh, I can breathe.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Nice.
So grief sits in the lungs, right? Mm-hmm. And when you've got lots of big heart stuff going on too, like it just gets so heavy in there and so congested. So on your end, you're feeling finished, Amanda?
Mm-hmm.
There's just there feels like one little thing, and I'm getting the word shadow come through. Can you just say a blanket statement for me, Becc? I step out of the shadow.
I step out of the shadow.
And into the light.
And into the light.
Beautiful. There we go. That's it. Finished.
Yay.
Looking for a smarter way to reach your ideal customers? Talk to them while they're already tuned in. At Jazzcast Pros, we connect brands like yours with engaged, growth-minded listeners who actually want what you offer. Our audience is made up of entrepreneurs, decision makers, and change makers, the exact people who invest in their future. With targeted ad placements and authentic storytelling, we make sure your brand gets heard and remembered. Let's get your message in the right ears. Visit jazzcastpros.com/advertise today.
How awesome was that?
Oh my God. I just love the shorter healings.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
So good.
It's like the energy is more precise, and you get I get so much information, but it just comes through in a way that is like, well, it's the shortcut, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so good. I love it. I love it. And I've been doing lots of them. I did one awesome one yesterday with a girlfriend of mine, and it was 10 minutes and it was so good. She followed up with me late last night. Huge shift. Was so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was unreal.
I feel like this is what we've been working towards.
Yes.
Like honing our skills for this kind of thing.
Simplification, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, like we said before, we love a waffle, but this is, I feel it's like healing 2.0, next level.
Yeah.
So cool.
That's it. And what I also love about it is that as an offering, it makes it more accessible to people.
100%, because it's shorter, it's cheaper, it's all the things, right?
Yeah, it's quicker. I find it actually really energizing.
Yes.
Whereas super long healings, I tend to, I need a bath afterwards. I need to just relax, take it down a notch.
Touch grass a bit.
Yeah. So we have followed up with Becc, which has been really good. And she did, we all did the love letter, didn't we?
Oh, let's talk about the love letter.
So good.
Oh, my goodness me.
I've done that sort of thing before, but not quite the same as what we put together for her.
No.
And after she did it and gave us such amazing feedback, I was like, oh, my God, I have to do it now.
Yeah. Well, do you want to talk to the feedback and then we can kind of speak to our experiences?
Well, it was just And everyone's experience is going to be different. It's very, very personal. But I just loved that she was so connected to it and so surprised by the outcome and what happened, what came up for her. And then what she did was her session was just before the full moon. So she did it for the full moon, like a little ceremony. She brewed herself some cacao, and of course she uses our cacao, so that's awesome. Like she's one of our number one cacao fans,
She's
isn't
awesome,
she? Yeah. And so she, did the whole thing, lit the candle and sat down and did it, and it cleared so much for her. And then when we spoke, she was like, I'm going to sit down again and do a more creative visualization process, the same sort of thing, but on the new moon. So it's a building growth process.
Yeah. What great integration after a session.
Mm-hmm.
Like really amazing.
That's it. I truly love that because in my experience, doing stuff like this, but also in counselling and all the things, the integration is at least as important as the actual process work itself.
Yeah, and it's the layers, right?
Mm.
And I've found in my personal work that I can take a massive, really high layer off something, and then for days, it's like these micro sheddings that I go through. And because I'm so sensitive, I feel it all, I see it all, I hear it all. And I do sometimes get to that point of like, far out, like, what the hell? But then it's in the doing, right? It's in the embodiment. It's in the walking in the wisdom, like in the world. Because you can sit in your bedroom and you can clear as much as you like, and that's awesome. But unless you are integrating it, embodying it, and living from that space, it kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does. There's no point.
Yeah.
It's like sewing yourself a paper dress and then walking out into the rain and wondering why it dissolves and disintegrates. It's like,
I have never heard you say that before, ever.
No, I've never said it before. It just popped into my head. I'm like, it's just unstable, right?
Yes.
You've got to practice it and you've got to be able to see whether or not it actually works IRL.
Yeah, and, that's the cycle kind of going right round and concluding. It's the humanness in that. It's like the physicality coming into the 3D. It goes full circle, and then it's like, oh, right, like I get it now,
Yeah, that's it. And we've spoken to this before. If we are etheric eternal beings having a physical experience, then it has to be about how we walk in this world.
That's all it can be about, I believe, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's that balance of, yes, clear it, but walk it, and find that middle ground. Yeah, it's this stuff is the stuff that keeps me awake at 2 a.m. Like, I just think it's so fascinating.
Mm.
I don't need to be awake anymore, though. Yeah.
Heads up to the energy beings.
Yeah,
that,
thank God.
with the alarm clocks.
Yeah, totally. So, and you did the letter as well. I did. I know I did. So what was your experience like with it?
I've done the process before a couple of years ago. So I was a little bit ambivalent, thinking the same stuff would come up. So I was surprised that different information came through.
Yeah, right.
And what I liked about it was that in the past when I've done it, I've felt a level of guilt and shame because I've behaved so badly and, all that kind of thing.
With money?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mentioned that, I think, talking to Becc, where I've said, if someone else treated me the way I had treated money, I'd be horrified kind of
Yes.
thing, you know, like
Isn't that a wild
pretty much
concept?
gaslighting, what a narcissist kind of thing.
Yeah, but what a great concept to think about, because we just don't think about the relationship we have with it. We know when we have it and we know when we don't have it, and we, like, how many times do you hear even people in the supermarket going, I can't afford that, or picking the cheapest brand of something. It's like, out there in the world, it's one of the things I'm hearing that there is a lot of at the moment is, a real lack of funds for people.
And if you're in relationship with the energy that you're using to sustain yourself, and you're saying things like, I'm going to buy the cheapest, crappiest version that I can afford, then it's definitely worthwhile looking closely at what that means energetically to money and to you and your relationship with it.
Yeah.
So I just found that there was quite a shift this time around, and it was a healthier conversation.
Yeah.
But there were still things there that needed to come up and needed to be cleared, so that was good too.
I would like to do it again, actually, because I think, was it about 2 weeks ago?
Not quite, but...
Yeah, so I did it pretty much straight away when this idea
when it came up.
Yeah, dropped in. And when I felt into it, I was like, money for me at this present moment has a very masculine energy. And so for me, I was like, well, this is a love letter to my divine union partner. And so looking at it through that kind of lens was vastly different from anything that I have ever done before. And it was really cool. Like, I highly recommend anybody that is going to do this to really sit and get clear about how you feel about it. Like, even if you've got to open up your bank account or, pull out an old statement, like, really do the tactile stuff to bring it into your reality. Yes,
that's right, because
amazing.
Then you get the opportunity to watch what comes up.
Yeah.
How do I feel when I've got that in front of me and I'm checking that balance or whatever, or noticing that maybe a bill bounced or something like that. Like that can be really confronting emotionally too.
Yeah. Open, a savings account, like I've in the past had like a real can't touch this. This is specifically for X, Y, and Z, and then really feel into, well, what is that actually reflecting to me? Profound. We should do a whole episode on this sort of thing, because I could talk for hours. I love it.
So for anyone that hasn't noticed, we have put a link into the show notes to go and get access to a PDF that is like a template and a bit of a guide for doing this process, which I think is going to be super cool. And then in a couple of weeks, we're going to do a similar one, which is going to be the other side of it.
Yeah.
Doing, that clearing and then building.
Yeah. Love it.
So, yeah, that's it. Get some cacao, have a little brew, and sit down and write the love letter.
Or not, just look at your bank balance.
See what comes up. Work with that. So good luck and have fun.
Yep. Bye.
See ya. Thank you so much for tuning in to the latest episode of The Spiritual Shortcut.
We'll be back on the first and third Sunday of each month to unpack, demystify, and occasionally make fun of all things spiritual.
Starting with ourselves.
Of course.
Don't forget, those life blocks you've been tripping over are just poorly disguised stepping stones.
We'll support you to laugh, leap, and maybe even do a little victory dance over them. See you soon.
You've done the work to survive. Now it's time to heal and lead. Healing Her Within is your space to break cycles, reclaim your voice, and rise in your power. Through tools like breathwork, inner child healing, energy work, and mindset shifts, we help you unlock the woman you were always meant to be. listen and subscribe on the Jazzcast Pros Network right here on the platform that you're listening to, because your healing isn't optional. It's your next level.